come into your seated position like we did before. And so again, I'm doing mirror image for you. So you've got your left foot tucked in nice and close, right foot at the front. Just pull the flesh of your bum out the back so that you get into a nice comfortable position. And then let your hands rest lightly on your knees. Give yourself whichever props that you need so you feel comfortable. And then just allow yourself to soften your gaze or close your eyes. And sealing your lips gently. Start to breathe in and out through your nostrils. Allowing your breath to slow down and to lengthen gently without forcing it. And just take a moment to scan over your body, noticing any areas of unnecessary tension that you might be holding. Just allow yourself to soften and release a little bit further. Maybe you need to adjust your position gently. And then as you're breathing and you can feel your lungs inflating and deflating, notice that soft response of your belly. So don't think that you need to hold your abdominals or grip them. Just allow your belly to expand slightly as you breathe. And at the same time, you don't want to force your abdominals outwards. Just allow it to be easy. And taking a moment before we go into our box breath, we all exhale together, still breathing in and out through your nose. We're going to inhale for 4 counts. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Now hold your breath at the top. 2, 3, 4. And now breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath at the bottom. 2, 3, 4. And we inhale. 2, 3, 4. And hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. And hold. 2, 3, 4. And again, breathe in, and hold, 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 hold. Breathe out, 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 and hold, 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 hold. Last round, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and holding at the top. 2, 3, 4, breathing out. 2, 3, 4, and holding. 2, 3, 4. Allow yourself to return to a natural breath. Just taking a moment to notice the benefits of the box breath. Feeling the strength through your lungs, your chest, your diaphragm. And noticing the calm that it brings to your mind. Just allowing you to be present. So the box breath is a wonderful way to start incorporating mindfulness or meditation. We're going to just all together take one more deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth and sigh. And blink your eyes open. Oh goody, you guys are still there. And we're going to inhale and reach all the way up, finding that length through the side of your body. And now start just doing a little bit of a twist from side to side. So one hand touches to the front, one to the back, and then up and over. And one hand to the front, one hand to the back. So we're doing a gentle rotation of the spine. And what's really lovely with this arm movement is we're getting a little bit of mobility through the shoulders. So for those of us that have maybe some shoulder issues, you just make it small or you keep the elbows bent. But notice when you bring your arms up overhead that it actually lifts your ribs. It actually lets you breathe in quite easily. Let's do one more time. Reaching all the way up, hold it, and bringing your arms down. Take your hands just underneath your legs so that you can bring your legs up slowly. So you might feel that there's sort of a little bit of movement of circulation into your legs. Stretch your legs out straight. And we're just going to hold it here. You can put your hands beside you if you like. We're going to point one toe as we flex the other ankle. And then we're going to alternate point and flex. So this is called the circulation drill. This is also really good for ankles, feet. So our calf muscles have quite a bit of fascia, connective tissue. It's actually called an aponeurosis, that is connective tissue. It's around the calf muscles, and when we do this movement of the legs, it actually helps to pump blood back to the heart. So this is one of the exercises for people that are bedridden maybe, or don't get to move around a lot. This helps the circulation, which is why it's called the circulation drill. Let's just take a few more. And then just allow yourself to relax. Now bring your right foot into the front and your left foot all the way to the side, setting yourself into a comfortable position again. And once again, reach your arms all the way up, and we come into our gentle twist. Up and over. Notice how your breathing just naturally connects to your movement. And allow your head to go wherever you want it to. So I quite like to look over my shoulders, so it's continuing the spiral of the spine. But some people like to look to the front, and that gives you sort of an opposite rotation. So there's no right or wrong. Last two. Last one. Come all the way back to the center. Hold it, and then bring your hands down. Once again, help yourself as you bring your legs all the way up. Stretch your legs out long. Now this time, keep your ankles flexed back so your toes are lifted. Fingertips on the floor beside you. And we're going to start rocking a little bit forwards and backwards. So we're keeping our spine lengthened. So notice when you lean forward that there's sort of a stretch down the back of your legs a little bit. And if you're getting a little bit warmed up and you can come deeper, then you start to move your hands a little bit forward if you want to. Keep your toes lifted. And let's just do one more time, a little bit of a hinging forward and release, giving your knees and your ankles a lovely shake. So I'm just hopping off my bolster. I'm turning sideways. I want you to have your knees bent, runway strip behind you. Hook your hands onto your knees. Now help yourself to sit up nice and tall. And then breathe out as you roll back. So if you can, then just allow yourself to hang off your knees here. Stay for a moment. And then roll yourself forward. And then use your arms to help yourself come back up. And again, draw your tail under. So the abdominals are pulling away from your thighs. And then we're going to come forward and lift up tall. And let's just do 2 more. Rolling back. Stay for a second. And come forward. Last one. Curl back. Hold it here. Take 1 more breath. And then release your hands to slide them down the sides of your legs. Let your hands come up towards the sky. And then just bend your knees and bring your feet a little bit closer in towards you. So stay there for a moment. Just allow the back of your neck to relax onto the ground. So bring your hands together so that they're touching in a prayer position. Hands touching. Elbows are going to be nice and straight. And then all we're going to do is slide your right hand up towards the sky. Feel how your right shoulder lifts. And then release and slide your left hand up. And release. So we're getting that rolling action of the ribs onto the ground. And there is a rotation through the thoracic spine. And now keep this movement going, but start to make it smaller. So literally just the tips of your fingers start to slide past each other. And keep the movement going and make it even smaller. So it almost feels like nothing's happening, but you are refining your movement. Tiny, tiny movement underneath you. And then say to yourself, separate your hands so that they are shoulder width apart, and let's start to scissor the arms. 1 arm overhead, 1 arm back, and we scissor. And again, give yourself permission to make the movement smaller if you need. Pay attention to what's happening to your upper body today. Hopefully this is feeling a little bit easier after all of the upper body releasing that we did yesterday. And let's just do 1 more time on each side. So you're getting the gliding of the scapula. Bring both hands all the way up. And now bring your hands down beside you. You can have palms down or palms up. It's completely up to you. Ready for a pelvic curl. Tilting your pelvis back, rolling up through your spine. As you come up into that bridge position, you want to find that lovely connection to the gluteus maximus. Stay for a moment. And then ripple down through your spine. So you can soften into the back of your neck a little bit. And release at the bottom. And we go again. Tilting pelvis back. Articulating up through your spine. And then again, gentle release down. And release at the bottom. We're going to take 2 more. Rolling up into your bridge. Pause. Soften into the back of your neck and then place yourself down. Feel your lungs, your kidneys, and then releasing pelvis. And this is our last one. Rolling up, coming up into your bridge. Now stay here for a moment. Anchor your right arm to the ground. Bring your left arm up. And just turn the palm of your hand so it's facing across. Do you have symmetry through your pelvis? Now open your arm wide. Hover. And bring your hand all the way up with control. And again, open out to the side. You got space there? Yes. Good. And lifting it up. And we're going to do just one more time. So this is actually connecting into those cross patterns of your body. Lift up and hold, and then bring your hand all the way down. Take a moment, stabilize. Now bringing your right hand up, turn your palm across, and we go. Open out to the side, and lift back up. And again, open to the side, and lift. Beautiful. Notice if one side is easier for you. Last one, using your breath. Lift up and hold it. Turn the palm of your hand, bring your hand down, and now roll through your spine. Just taking your time and release at the bottom. Nicely done, guys. Walk your feet to the outer edges of your mat. So your knees and feet are quite wide, and then move your hands wider to the side. Keep the back of your neck relaxed. Start to roll your legs to the left and turn your head to the right. And then roll knees through the center to the other side, and you look the opposite way. So the weight of our legs is actually guiding us into a twist, a rotation of the spine. And again, notice if one side is easier. You might find your knees actually touch the floor or get very close on one side, but they don't get that far on the other side. So it's quite normal. Like my right side is way easier for me. I don't feel any kind of pull. When I take my knees to the left, I can definitely feel my right IT band is trying to hold me back a little bit. So just taking a few more. Chest open, collarbones wide. And release, come back to the center. And then just hug your knees in towards you. Rock a little bit from side to side. And then hands go behind your thighs. Tuck yourself into a tight little ball shape. And let's do a little bit of rolling like a ball. So just like we did yesterday, allow yourself to kick your feet. Let your feet help you so that you can really focus on keeping the curve of your spine without hitting your head at the back and without jarring your lower back. Come all the way up and take a moment to balance and releasing your feet down. All right, let's come into our favorite mermaid seat, or at least my favorite mermaid seat. I want you to sit with your right shin to the front, left shin to the side, and then take a moment to figure out if you need any kind of support. So we haven't done any lateral flexion of the spine yet today. So let's come into our seaweed movement. Lovely, opening along the sides of the ribs, all the way down the side of the torso. And again, just let your head follow the line of movement as it feels good for you. And now place your right hand to the ground, hold it here, and then do a little bit of a twist, placing your hands next to each other. You can separate them if you need to. And then take a moment to square your shoulders and let everything else just adjust where needed. Let's start extending the spine. So you lift your heart, lift your eye line, and then curl your spine back. And I do a little bit of a push with my hand. And again. So it feels like I'm not really working. I'm allowing my spine to mobilize. But it almost feels like the work is coming from the floor through my hand connection. And then my breathing gives me that most amazing release. So remember when you inhale, it's that internal expansion, like you're stretching from the inside out. And then remember when you exhale, you empty your lungs, It's going to give you a natural deepening of those connections, those core connections, and perhaps allows you to move a little bit deeper. Just come back to the center and hold it. Bring your right hand to the middle. Pick up your left arm, and let's do one more long stretch. And then we get to come all the way up. Spin your feet around. You're going to have now your left leg to the front. Make the adjustments that you need so that it feels good for you. And then once again, let's go a little bit into our seaweed. So you've probably noticed that I repeat upper body movements, even though I've just changed the leg position. And the reason I do that is you might think, oh, but I've done this movement with my upper body already. But there's a whole ripple effect coming from the feet and the ankles up over the knees and into the hips. So if your pelvis or your hips are tighter on one side than the other, it's actually going to affect your upper body. Everything's connected. And now, placing left hand to the ground, come all the way over, and then bring yourself into a little bit of a twist, placing hands, getting your shoulders squared. Stay there for a moment, let your lower back adjust itself, and we start extending, lifting heart, lifting eye line, and then curling back. Tighter on that side, okay? Yeah. I definitely feel a difference between the two sides on my body as well. So again, you can start off very small. Some people have amazing range when they do this. Yours might be smaller and it doesn't matter. I actually oftentimes encourage people to close eyes when they do this because it really gets you to feel the movement as opposed to worry about what it looks like. I'm just going to take one more, using your breath, using your hands, and then just come back to the center and pause. Now with your left hand to the middle of the mat, pick up your right arm. Let's do one more long stretch over and coming all the way up. Nicely done. So let's come onto all fours. I'm going to face this way today so that I don't have my back to Edith here. So setting yourself up, getting your wrists nice and comfortable, extending the right leg back, picking up your right leg and hold it here, flexing into your ankle. We're just staying here for a moment, connecting into the gluteus maximus. There's that energy through your crown and energy through your heel. So that is your superficial back line working. But gluteus maximus is actually part of your side line, your lateral line. Now point your toe and we're going to step the foot out to the right and take it back. And again, step to the right and take it back. Two more. Take it back. One more, and we're going to stay here. Put your right hand on your knee, and then toe heel until you bring your foot in line with knee, in line with pelvis. Reaching up through the left hand as you bring your spine upright, and we stay here just for a moment, feeling a little connection into your belly. And now we start moving a little bit forwards and backwards. If you feel that you need to bring your foot forward to give yourself space, go for it. That's it. And let's just take a few more. So this is a little bit different from what we normally do, because normally we have the hand down when we do this. So we're adding tension. Shift forward and hold it there. Lean over towards the right. Stay there. There's the TFL intensifying. 5 little pulses. Last one. Release, hold. And now bringing your hand down, put your right hand to the ground, toe heel, so you take your foot off the side of the mat, firmly plant your hands, and then reach that right leg back. Stay here, flexing your foot, energy through your heel, and then we're going to bend that knee and coming all the way in. So let's go to the other side. Left leg back, lift your leg, flex your foot and pushing through the heel of your foot. Stay here, engaging gluteals on the left, finding that long straight line of your body. Point your toe and now step out to the left side and take it back. So when you step forward, you're obviously using your hip flexors on the left foot as well. But can you become aware of your lower abs? Surprising amount of work in the lower abdominals. Last one. And hold it. Put your left hand on your knee. Toe heel, walk your foot in. And then lift up. And bring your eye line up. Find your balance for a moment. And then we start shifting forwards and backwards. So notice how you're increasing that little stretch into the front of the hip. You've already got some tension through the arm. Feel free to move your foot if you need. And now bring yourself into an open hip position. Stay there. Lean over to the left. Hold it. And little pulses. Two more. One more. Release, coming up. Bring your hand down. Put the other hand down as well. Now walk your foot out, walk it out. Get your hands firmly rooted. Send that leg all the way back. And we're going to hold it here for a moment. Flex your foot. Energy through the heel. And then we're going to bend that knee and releasing all the way in. Taking your left arm out to the side, coming into a thread the needle, letting your head settle to the ground. Now keep your right hand where it is today, and then I'd like you to bend your left elbow if it's available to you, and then release your hand down again. So it's as if you're going to lightly touch your ribs or give yourself a little pat on the back. And release. We're going to do two more. One more. And release. Come all the way up. Reach your left arm out to the side. And place your hand down. Right arm extends out. Thread the needle all the way through. Settle yourself for a moment. And we're going to bend the right elbow, lightly touch and release. And touch and release. Two more. Finding that opening all the way from your spine, across your ribs, down the back of the arm. And release, hold it. Push onto your left hand, right arm reaches to the side and placing it down. Now from here, take your right leg, stretch it out, lift that leg up, hold it, flex your foot once again, connecting into those gluteals. Now circle your leg around to the right, place your foot down and roll the side of your toe down to the ground. Long spine. Start hinging backwards and forwards. So again, this is finding that adductor release. And because we're creating a gentle rhythmic movement, it's almost a feeling of training elasticity into this inner thigh. This is affecting all the way up the center of our body, our core, basically. Now bring yourself halfway back and stop. Round your spine like a cat and push up onto the tips of your fingers. Start to roll your fingers along the mat to you. Come all the way up and spread your wings nice and wide. Place your right hand to your leg, left arm up. Start leaning over towards the side. Get your neck in a happy place and 5 little pulses. One more. And release. Bringing your arms up. Turn your palms up. Lift your arms. Roll all the way forward. Fingertips lightly touch the ground. Walking yourself forward. Lifting your leg up. Sweep it to the back. And bringing your knee in. Make any adjustments you need, and we're going to go onto the left leg. Left leg extends. Bring your leg up. Flex your foot, and we hold it for a moment. Finding connections. Circle your leg around. Placing your foot down and rolling the side of your foot onto the floor. So guys, if this hurts your knee, your foot, your ankle, please just make any adjustments that you need. And then we're going to do that little shifting forward and backwards. Good, nice modification. I love props, eh? So again, just noticing how this feels on this left inner thigh in comparison to the right. Is there a difference for you? And then come halfway back and stop. Round your spine. Press up onto the tips of your fingers. Stay for a moment. Slide your fingers along the floor towards yourself. Roll upright and spread your wings. Left hand to the leg. Right arm up. So other way. Leaning over towards the side. Pause for a moment and gentle pulse. Good. Come all the way up. Reaching out to the side, your arms come up. Roll forward. Imagine a waterfall cascading down. Walk your hands out. Long spine. Lift your leg. Sweep it back and we pause. Flexing the foot. Finding connections. And then bringing your knee all the way in. So open your knees wide, big toes together. We're going to be settling back into a resting position. So just make sure that your knees and feet are comfortable. Bringing your head all the way towards the ground. Give yourself a prop if you need. And we're going to work on the arm lines a little bit here. So take your time as you walk your hands forward. And if possible, see if you can stretch your elbows so that your arms are lifted off the ground. And if you stay here and you have a stretch, then that's perfect. But if you want to take it a little bit deeper, push up onto the tips of your fingers. So it's intensifying the stretch. And then if you want to take it even further, you can add a gentle rolling action of your rib cage. So you can feel how one shoulder presses a little closer to the floor as the other one lifts up. So you're getting a rotation of the spine, but you're really getting a beautiful release through the latissimus dorsi muscles, those lats. Come back to the center, hold it, placing your hands flat, spread your fingers out, and then take your to all fours. So we're going to be doing a little bit of a hamstring release now. Taking your hands a bit wider than you normally would. Slide the right leg back, lift your right leg up, and now step ears and see if you can lengthen your spine a little bit. Start to push back so you're straightening the front leg and then bend the front knee. Now what you're going to find very quickly is that you don't have to straighten your leg, and you might already be getting a hamstring stretch. So keep going with a rhythmical movement, connecting into your breath. And notice that you might start to be able to shift a little bit deeper forwards and backwards. And it's just happening naturally. One more time. Come back and hold it. Now soften the front knee. Lift your toes. Lengthen your spine as much as you can. And let's go into our windscreen wiper movement with the front foot. So the toes are going in and out, which means the knee is moving because the actual rotation is coming from the hip socket. There's an internal, external rotation. The trick is to keep the pelvis and shoulders as level as possible. Let's just take a few more. Now bring your toes back to center. Press your toes down. Walk your hands and place them flat. And then send the right leg all the way back. Flex your foot. Energy through the heel. Point your toe. And bringing that knee all the way in. Good. Let's do the left leg. Left leg back. Bring your leg up. Hold it for a moment. And now step your foot through between your hands. Now again, help yourself if you need. Come up onto the tips of the fingers, lengthening your spine, and then we start to glide forwards and backwards. Gentle rhythmic movements. No forcing, just allow your range to expand as you move. We're just going to take one more time. Bring your hips back and hold it. Front knee is soft. Lift your toes up. Lengthen your spine as much as you can. And we're going to do a little internal, external rotation here. By the way, if you're really struggling in this position, you could actually put like some little blocks or cushions under your hands to bring your chest upright a little bit, yeah? Lovely, lovely glide of those three hamstrings over each other. Last one. Bring your toes upright. Press your toes down. Come forward. Now put your hands flat and then send your leg all the way back. Flex your foot. Stay here for a moment. And then point your toe. And once again, settle into a resting position. And this time, walk your hands together. So your hands are going to be pressed together in a prayer position. And we're simply going to bend the elbows and release. And again, bend and release. So getting a little bit of a stretch through the back of the arm, the triceps. Last one. And release. And then spread your fingers out. Draw yourself slowly onto all fours and lengthening through your spine. Take one hand, it doesn't matter which one. Turn the fingers out. Turn the fingers backwards as much as you can. So you're coming into a little bit of a wrist release. And then if it's too much, just bring your shoulders forward a bit. If you want to increase it. You can sit back. You could even add that little bit of rhythm. So remember we did this the other day. That's my video yesterday. So we did the standing against the wall with our fingers pointing back. So this carpal tunnel is part of our front arm line. It can get very tight on a lot of us. And one more. Turning your fingers forward. And now let's try the other side. Pivot fingers back, all the way around, and gentle pulses. Or you can just hold it, or you can even just bring your shoulders forward to make it a bit easier on the side. Few more. And hold, turning your fingers all the way forward. Now spread your fingers out evenly, tuck your toes under, and we're going to go up into a downward facing dog. So start off just by hovering your knees so you can actually find your weight. And then moving your hips up and back. Stay here for a moment, pedaling the heels down. If this is at all painful on your shoulders, you could actually do what's called the dolphin. You can come down onto your forearms and you can do exactly the same movement. So just see what feels good for you. And then soften your knees and start to walk your feet a little bit forward. Line up your toes with each other and then walk your fingertips back. So we're making our way into an upright position, but we're just going to hang here for a moment. And if you want to, you can hold one hand to elbow, other hand to elbow. I'm having my knees quite bent at the moment because it feels very soft. But if you want to sort of really focus on that stretch, you could actually straighten the backs of your legs too. Maybe you want to do a little sway side to side. Come to the center, let go with your hands, bend your knees deeply as you roll up into standing, lifting all the way up. Take a moment to focus your eye line, make sure you're not having a massive head rush, you're not going to pass out. Roll your shoulders back and around for a moment. And I'm just going to be turning to facing towards you. You can stay as you are. And just allow your arms to relax. So soften your knees slightly. And we're going to repeat the box breath that we did at the beginning of today's class. So you can either just lower your gaze or you can soften and close your eyes. Just allow your lips to close. Bringing all your breath in and out through your nostrils. And let's all exhale gently before we start. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, and exhale. 2, 3, 4, hold at the bottom. 2, 3, 4, breathing in. 2, 3, 4, and hold. Hold, hold, hold. Gentle exhale. 2, 3, 4, and hold. Hold, hold, hold. And again, breathing in, in, and hold. 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 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 and hold at the bottom. 2, 3, 4. Last round, breathing in and holding. Breathing out and holding, and return to a natural breath. Feel free to allow your lips to part. And in your own time, blink your eyes open, keeping that lovely, calm, present feeling in your body. Give everything a little bit of a shake. Fantastic. Feel okay?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Absolute pleasure.